Okay, Monica, I'm so curious how to start a metaphysical domestic violence advocate. So is it, when you say metaphysical, are you thinking of giving like psychic readings through that, but more like geared towards like kind of like what is your modality? Is it kind of like tarot reading or psychic reading where you're going to give information to these type of people, but the clients you're trying to go for are people that have been through domestic abuse, like women and children? Whatever fits for their personal situation. Okay. Oh, so you mean like you'll either do a psychic reading or a tarot reading depending on what they're coming to you for, like what their situation is. Those just out are still. Okay, so clients that are just out of domestic violence situations, or they're still going through it. Got it. Okay. Let me know if I got it right when I interpreted your comment where it said whatever fits their personal situation. So it's like, because I don't know what modalities you work with. Okay, Monica says, so domestic violence clients so they are asking spirit for advice on the situation. Okay, so you can do cards, dowsing rods, learning crystals. Are those your main modalities? Would you say cards are the most, or is it, I'm just kind of like trying to narrow it down now. Cards and intuition. Okay. Monica, are you trying to do, let's say, for example, like card readings. So it sounds like card readings, but with advice and life coaching for people who are in or just out of domestic violence situations. Let me know if I have that right. Okay, Monica says, yes, I'm a survivor and want to give back. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, so there are a couple ways you can do this. I think in the beginning, people are going to know you you can first pivot and market yourself as intuitive coach or intuitive healer. No, more like intuitive coach. Domestic violence survivor, you can say spiritual intuitive coach geared towards those who are in domestic violence situations or abuse. In that way, and then you say like book a reading with me, and through that so I guess like you can build a following in the beginning it's nice when you don't have to spend a lot of money on ads, but what you do is you would build a following, and it takes time on your social media. So obviously right now we see a lot of people getting more engagement on TikTok, and then Instagram is, and then Facebook page really doesn't get much, but where you can actually really shine, in my opinion, is also a Facebook group, because that's a platform where you can build a safe community that's like really private, and that's where people can have a discussion and kind of incorporate spirituality, but also have a bunch of people who are survivors that are in that group, or people that are currently going in that group, and that way they can help support each other. So I think that's like a place where it might be a golden nugget that is kind of hidden. Let me see what he said. Is it possible, or do you think the two won't work together? LOL. The two meaning cards and intuition. I think cards, keep typing so I kind of know what you're saying, but if you're saying cards intuition, then yeah, because like even Maria in her readings, she does tarot and oracle cards, but in the end, she also gives a lot of advice into it too. And I think what's good is that because you've been in their shoes, they're more likely to go to you because you know exactly why. Like for me, I'd be like, just get out of the situation. It's so easy, like get yourself worth, but you know what it's like to be like broken down, or even how it takes a lot of time to like get to the point to be like, you know what, I am leaving. I cannot stand this anymore for myself, for my children. So, but if you kind of, I guess you can market yourself or make your content that way. Like, this is my story. And then, or you can do like a lot of engaging pieces where maybe you could say, share your story, come to our private Facebook group. We'd love to have you. Or kind of like, what are red flags you saw, what are light pink flags that you didn't notice until later on in the relationship, it was a red flag. And then someone on TikTok can stitch that, you know? So there's so much you can do with that. And so the first year, you're gonna have to like build that up in terms of like, oh, this is who you are and what your niche is in. And so people will be like, you know, they won't be like, oh, yeah, there's so many tarot card readings, but there's, oh, Monica's the one that is like specializes in the situation. Yeah, you could go to Maria or you can go to like Nancy or whatever readers, but they don't, you know, there's a little extra like magic, I call it, when you come, the reader is someone that's been in your shoes. You know, they know exactly what it's like. And also it's inspirational, the fact that to see someone sitting across from you on, whether it's on Zoom or on the other side of the screen, being like, oh, they got out of the domestic violence abuse situation. If they can do it, then they can show me how to as well. So I really think you have something really potent there. And oh, there's so much you can do. And and these are obviously for people that are more like spiritual, or maybe sometimes they've hit so rock bottom that they can't even believe in their religion anymore and they're looking for something else. And sometimes people have to hit that point, and then that's when they discover you. I already have a Northern Colorado domestic violence group. Well, you can, that's all. That's so good, because then you're not really starting from zero. Like we started literally from zero people. So it was just so hard to be like, guys, come, it's us, we're here, we exist. So at least with this, you don't have to start from literal scratch like we did. You kind of already have the community. And even though community is organic and it's slower growth than like big hard sales ads and stuff like that, in the long run, that's what, when you build this community, it's what's gonna draw more people. People are gonna come for the community and for the support. You know, like, yes, they can give you can give them a spiritual or tarot reading and whatnot, but you know, in between the readings that they get from you, they're gonna seek help and support from the community to help them hold up. Metaphysical and domestic violence. Oh, mixing them together? Yes, you can. Because in that domestic violence group, there are people, like I said, that are going to speak more, that are going to seek more of that spiritual, or like, what else is there out there? Or like, why am I suffering? They might go through that. And then you can start talking about all the stuff, you know, about like why we suffer, why we came down on earth, and what to do and whatnot. So obviously it might not be for the tarot readings, or might not be for everyone in your group where it's in your Colorado domestic violence group, but there will be a chunk of people in there that are going to seek meaning for it, meaning and lessons from it, like a deeper understanding from it. So I really think you have a really great idea. I'm not saying that just to be like, yeah, every idea is great. It's like, no, that's an idea you can really work with. Let me know if you have any questions, and to help you kind of get started there. The group's mainly for support. Okay. So the domestic violence group. Yeah. So, yeah. And also, yeah, you're so welcome. And let me know if you need, keep asking away. If there's something during the session right now that I'm doing on Zoom and TikTok, just ask about like what else to do. But you really can, I would say, to just get started right away, because it takes a while to build up a digital presence. And I mean, there's always going to be random people that be like, hey, do you know a tarot reader? I could be like, hey, go to Monica. I'm not going to stop them if they're not a domestic abuse person. Like, maybe that way the money can still go to you, and if you're like, no, you're not my client, sorry, then that's fine. But sometimes people are just looking for tarot readers in general, so it kind of is like a hybrid, flexible idea that you have right there. Oh, another idea I thought of, Monica, is you can even have like workshops as events, and bring people together in as well, and being like, hey, have you been had trauma? It doesn't, yeah, or people that people who've even had domestic abuse 5 years ago, but they've never addressed it, and maybe they haven't sought therapy yet, but they kind of are looking for a place that's maybe not therapy, but a support group. But that's also kind of spiritual or something like that. Then you can do like workshops, or I don't know what else you've done in terms of like, because you already have support group, but kind of like, I don't know if you have like, you can have like a workshop with people that, with maybe like, you could say a therapist or something like a healing event for people in domestic abuse, a spiritual healing event for these people that can work on their inner child or can work on their traumas. So that's also an idea you can have for your spiritual business.